Most people think they are broke because they don't earn enough money, but that is not the real reason. Even people with good salaries often live paycheck to paycheck, without understanding why it keeps happening. The real problem is not income, but behavior with money, and small daily decisions that slowly shape financial life without people noticing it. These small decisions feel normal and harmless, like small upgrades, purchases, and lifestyle changes that feel deserved after hard work. But over time, they start building pressure in life, because expenses grow with income, and slowly people stop saving and start living only for present comfort instead of long-term financial freedom. This is where people get trapped, thinking more money will fix everything. But the truth is, money alone is not the solution. Because when money enters your hands, it becomes emotion, comfort, and reward. And this emotional thinking slowly takes control of decisions, making people spend instead of plan and enjoy instead of build. At first it feels harmless, a better phone, new clothes, or small lifestyle upgrades. But slowly, this becomes a habit. And once lifestyle expands, it rarely goes backward. This is how people start earning more, but still feel broke. Because every income increase is matched with higher spending, and no real financial progress is made. Eventually, money stops feeling like freedom and starts feeling like responsibility. Because every earning is already assigned to bills, expenses, and lifestyle costs before it even arrives. And this creates a cycle where people work harder, but feel no progress, only pressure, and constant financial stress in everyday life. The real danger is this cycle feels normal, because everyone around is living the same way. So people stop questioning it, and accept it as life. Working, earning, spending, repeating. But the real question is, why does this happen? Why do smart people, hardworking people, even educated people fall into the same cycle again and again? The answer is not money, it is psychology. From a very young age, people are trained to connect success with what they can show. If it looks expensive, it must be success. If people notice it, it must mean progress. So when people start earning money, they don't think about building wealth, they think about showing improvement. This is where the silent shift begins. Instead of asking, how can I grow this money, they start asking, how can I improve my lifestyle? And that one small shift changes everything. Because now money is not a tool anymore, it becomes identity, something that defines who you are in the eyes of others. So every decision becomes emotional, not logical. You don't buy what you actually need. You buy what makes you feel successful right now. A better phone, a nicer watch, a slightly better lifestyle. Not because it builds your future, but because it changes how you feel today. And this is where the trap becomes deeper, because the brain starts getting addicted to this feeling. The feeling of upgrade. The feeling of progress. The feeling of being successful for a moment. But the cost of that feeling is your future stability. And slowly, without realizing it, people start building a life that looks successful from outside, but feels heavy from inside. Because every upgrade comes with a hidden cost. Every comfort comes with a long-term pressure. And every emotional decision reduces future freedom. This is how the cycle strengthens. Not through one big mistake, but through thousands of small emotional decisions that feel right in the moment, but wrong over time. And the reason this cycle is so powerful is because it doesn't feel like a problem in the beginning. It feels like progress. When someone gets a salary increase, they don't feel danger, they feel achievement. When someone upgrades their lifestyle, they don't feel loss, they feel reward. And this is exactly how the trap becomes invisible. Because every step feels justified. Every expense feels earned. Every upgrade feels deserved. So the brain never gets a signal that something is going wrong. Instead, it gets reinforced again and again that this is the right way to live. And slowly, without realizing it, financial decisions stop being financial decisions. They become emotional reactions. Stress leads to spending. Happiness leads to spending. Comparison leads to spending. And even boredom leads to spending. So money is no longer controlled with intention. It is controlled by emotion in the moment. And this is where the biggest illusion starts. Because from the outside, life still looks fine. People still look successful. They still look upgraded. But inside, the pressure keeps building quietly. Obligations increase. Commitments increase. Monthly responsibilities increase. But financial freedom does not increase at the same speed. And this gap is what creates long-term stress that most people only understand much later in life. And this is where the most important question finally comes in. If this cycle is so common and so powerful, then how do people actually escape it? Because the truth is, most people don't fail financially because they don't know how to earn money. They fail because they never learn how to control it after earning it. The first step to breaking this cycle is awareness. The moment you realize that most of your spending is emotional and not logical, you start taking back control. Not every purchase is a need, and not every upgrade is progress. Sometimes it is just a feeling you are trying to fix temporarily. And once you understand that, your decisions start changing slowly. You begin to pause before spending. You start asking a simple question: do I really need this? Or do I just want to feel better right now? That one question alone can break the automatic spending habit, because it creates distance between emotion and action. And in that small gap, control returns. Then comes the second step, separating lifestyle from identity. Your worth is not your phone, not your clothes, not your car, and not what others think about your success. The moment you stop using money to define yourself, you start using it to build yourself. And that changes everything. Because now money is no longer about showing, it becomes about growing. And finally, the most powerful shift is this: increasing savings before increasing lifestyle. Not the other way around. When income increases, the first move should be building stability, not upgrading appearance. This is how the cycle breaks, not in one big decision, but in small consistent choices that slowly rebuild financial control. And when this shift happens, something very powerful starts to change in your life. You stop feeling constantly pressured by money, and you start feeling in control of it. Because now every decision is not automatic anymore. It is intentional. You are no longer reacting to emotions. You are making decisions based on direction. And this is the real difference between people who stay stuck and people who slowly build financial freedom. It is not about earning dramatically more overnight. It is about controlling what you already earn today. Even small changes in behavior start compounding over time. Less emotional spending, more conscious saving, and more focus on what actually adds long-term value. And slowly, without any sudden change in lifestyle, your financial pressure starts reducing. You stop living from paycheck to paycheck in your mind, even if income stays the same. Because now your money has structure, purpose, and direction. And once that structure is built, growth becomes natural, not forced, not stressful, but steady. And this is the part most people never reach. Not because it is impossible, but because they never change the small habits that control everything in the background. And if you understand this deeply, then you realize something very important. Financial freedom is not a moment in the future. It is a set of decisions you make every single day. It is built in silence, not in big celebrations. Every time you choose to delay an unnecessary purchase, every time you choose saving over emotional spending, every time you think before reacting, you are actually building control over your future. And this control is what creates real stability. Not luck, not sudden success, not a higher salary alone. Because income without control always leaks away, no matter how much it increases. That is why two people with the same income can live completely different lives over time. One feels trapped, and the other slowly becomes free. The difference is not what they earn. The difference is how they behave after earning. And once you truly understand this, you stop chasing only money. and start building discipline. Because discipline is what protects money, and consistency is what grows it. And this is the final truth most people realize too late. Money does not change your life by itself. It only amplifies your habits. If your habits are weak, more money creates more pressure. If your habits are strong, even small money creates stability and growth. That is why real financial change never starts outside. It always starts inside your decisions. The way you think about spending, the way you respond to emotion, the way you treat every small purchase, all of it matters more than any single income jump. Because wealth is not built in big moments. It is built in repeated small choices that no one sees. And over time, these invisible choices decide whether your life feels controlled or completely free. So the question is not how much money you will make in the future. The real question is, what habits are you building today that will decide that future? And here is the real solution, not theory, but actual system you can use in real life. First rule, separate your money the moment it comes in. Don't wait for month end to see what is left, because nothing will be left. Divide it immediately into 3 parts: survival, savings, and spending. Second rule, kill emotional spending at the source. Before any non-essential purchase, wait 24 hours. Most things you want today will feel unnecessary tomorrow. This one delay removes almost half of impulse spending automatically. Third rule, increase savings before lifestyle. Every time your income increases, don't upgrade your life immediately. Upgrade your savings first. Even if it is small, consistency matters more than amount. Fourth rule, track where your money actually goes. Not in your mind, but on paper or app. Because money you don't track always disappears without awareness. And finally, learn to sit with discomfort. Because real financial control starts when you can say no to small temptations without feeling like you are missing out. This is the real system, simple, practical, and actually usable in daily life. Not motivation, but structure. So before you chase more money, understand this one thing clearly. Your financial life is not decided by your salary. It is decided by your habits when no one is watching. Because money will always come and go. But control, once you learn it, stays with you. And maybe the real goal was never just to become rich. Maybe the real goal was to become free. Free from pressure, free from constant stress, and free from living life on financial autopilot. And that freedom starts with the smallest decisions you make today. If you found this valuable, hit the subscribe button for more videos like this.